Chiefs Kingdom, are you missing the playoffs? Really? Let me know down below. We start off with a very good play call, getting Rashee Rice the football into space. Big game for Travis Kelce, probably his best of the season, and this is an easy first down. This has honestly been the story of the Patrick Mahomes struggle bus, right? So obviously when you look at fantasy, raw numbers, whatever, he's been really good this season. You look at the past couple of seasons previous to this, so with Tyreek Hill no longer there, EB out of the equation, the deep passing has deteriorated, and you have a deep sideline ball, and this one is just not a good throw. You know, Tyquan Thornton is there, and he led him too far. So I saw quite a few Chiefs fans on social media not happy with the Chiefs' selection of not sticking with the running game. The run game had its success in this game, and obviously you get a nice scamper here from Kareem Hunt. So something else about this run game is if you get it going, this quick RPO stuff starts working, right? Man, this is just really good ball handling right here by Patrick. He's able to get this football to Rashee Rice, and you pick up a good 5 yards. And obviously, when it comes to anticipation, there's just not many as good as Patrick Mahomes. Look at when he's electing to throw this football versus off coverage. It's just really, really, really good stuff. Get it on that outside shoulder to allow him to turn upfield. 3rd and 1 is always a good down to throw. And, well, you get a somewhat low snap, and then you also have a tight end delay attached to this. So Noah Gray does get open after chipping on this edge player. He's unblocked. And guess what? This throw right here to Brashard Smith is getting the first down. Mahomes elects to not throw it. So he decides to step up. This Rashee Rice is getting done right here. Okay? And he's looking right at him. He elects to not throw it. So now, if you're to fully progress, you can get to Noah Gray on the delay. He's open. And Mahomes tries to chunk it deep, and he's just going to eat the sack. It's just nasty, nasty, nasty work. Huge, huge Travis Kelce game. So we get to here. This is just a really good man-beater concept. You can see that they're blitzing pretty hard right here. It gets picked up really nicely. So if they're blitzing, we want to work these shallow drags and really pick on these man coverage assignments. And it's just really, really, really good stuff. So hit Kelce, allow him to do what he used to do best. He could still do this pretty well, which is run after the catch. And, of course, Travis Kelce turns this into a pretty nice game. I mean, nobody throws this slant better than Mahomes. Nobody. Okay, look at when he's electing to throw the football. If this defender just stopped, it would be picked off. But Mahomes knows that this defender has too much momentum screaming down into the flats to guard the running back. So just by looking at this frame, you would think, man, Mahomes is throwing it right at number 40, but that's not what's happening. And here's the thing about Mahomes throwing this so quickly, is that there is unblocked A-gap pressure. Creed Humphrey let him go, and Mahomes, while getting hit, is still able to deliver this football right between the 8 and the 7 for a first down. 3rd and Branson. Or should I say, what's a outskirt in close to Denver? 3rd and Vale. How about that? So Mahomes elects to do what he does best, which is extend plays. And look, it's 3rd and 14. A field goal gives you the lead. And this is a lower scoring game. Your defense is playing well. And Mahomes decides to go Superman. And, well, you're in field goal range. Just live to fight another down. Patrick Mahomes says, no, I'm going to force this football to my running back, and I can't get it over him. Okay? And now it's off to the races going the other way. It gets called back for a hold on this return. But man, oh man, oh man, this is just tough. So Broncos score a touchdown after that turnover, and that's a 10-point swing on the arm of Patrick Mahomes. He does follow this up, though, with an actual deep completion to Tyquan Thornton. The pass protection is, for the most part, really good to the right side, but it does break down over here to the left. And Mahomes just throws an absolute beauty up here to Tyquan, allowing him to make a play on this. Look at that. Boom. Okay, freaking ridiculous stuff. Yeah, so this is what Mitchell Schwartz was talking about on Twitter.com. Just get under center and run the damn ball. Okay, Creed Humphrey, this is a ridiculous piece of center play. And guess what? Now you got Big Trey up there on the second level getting a good block on Dre Greenlaw, who you played in the Super Bowl a few years ago. And Kareem Hunt goes airborne for a first. So you get some Mahomes magic here on third, and let's go Overland Park. Why not? I know it's a little basic. But man, the protection's really good. Simmons, man, that's just excellent work. And Mahomes eventually finds Hollywood Brown down the field. And well, this draws a pass interference penalty. You'll take that all day, every day, baby. And it doesn't look like anything else was truly open. So Mahomes does a good job just giving Hollywood a chance, and he's able to draw the flag. Yeah, 3rd and 6. This was just not a good defensive call right here from Vance Joseph whatsoever. Okay, Chiefs just happen to be running a really good play to beat this. When you're blitzing the mic, you open up this space. And honestly, most of their defenders' legs are behind the sticks, right? We really want to force them to kick a field goal. That's a difficult assignment for a safety to come all the way over there to make that play. Kelce's able to cut back on it, and he walks into the end zone. So, good execution by the Chiefs, not the best piece of defense from Denver. And then this is the final thing. I have no idea why more teams don't do this. Obviously, he has full possession. But even if he didn't, there is no downside just to go pick this football up if you're Kansas City. Because if you don't, and it was a fumble, it'd be a touchback, but whatever. This was some really good offense here from the Kansas City Chiefs. Let's just make it a manageable third here. And what do? They throw it straight to Travis Kelce. He does a good job just finding the weak spot. And once again, Dre Greenlaw eventually brings down TK. All right, so there's always the downside of playing with rookies. Okay, so Brashard Smith in this situation probably should have stopped running on this wheel because, well, you have a mishap here. So you could see that they're trying to pass off this man coverage assignment. This slot corner's telling 40, hey, you pick up Juju Smith-Schuster. Now I'm going to pick up the running back. And you could see he stops, and now he's picking up Rashee Rice. And you could see that this corner's like, hey, you need to stick with 24. So now 24 is open. And Mahomes is seeing all of this unfold. He's thinking that Smith is just going to stop right here. He keeps running, and, well, if Smith had just stopped, you're playing pitch and catch for a first down. Still, though, if you're Patrick, I don't know why you don't still just fire this in. I understand that there's still a DB sitting around right here, but he does lead him up the field. I do think Patrick just thought he was going to stop, and then you miss out on the easy conversion. All right, so we get to this 3rd and 10. We're actually going to give you multiple angles because the Chiefs have a chance to drive down the field and go win this game. And what happens here is they get spagged pretty hard with a slot corner blitz. It is so ironic. And football oftentimes is a very poetic sport, right? How you really got to the point you are is oftentimes your own downfall. And that's exactly what happens here. Vance Joseph in a hat tip to Steve Spagnuolo. You're thinking 15's flying off the edge, but in fact, they're bringing 29 as well. And remember, earlier in the game, the the Chiefs' answers to these blitzes has been, hey, we're going to run shallow drags across it, but 57 backs out. Greenlaw right here, and he's picking up any shallow drags running over the middle. Okay, so basically they're boxing in this trips formation here. Got 3 over 2 over here, and then you got a 1-on-1 over here, and then you have an untouched player coming in from off the edge. Okay, so what happens here is Kareem Hunt goes to pick up the A-gap player. Creed has it, but if he had stayed out here, he would have picked up 29. So it's a really good blitz call. You can see Hunt sees it really late, and now Mahomes is in a difficult spot. Really, the only thing he could have done here is find a way to make this guy miss here or throw a behind-the-back flick to Kareem Hunt. Ha, ha, ha. It was just a perfect defensive call, and there you go. Now, could Mahomes have actually thrown this post up to Tyquan and just lived with the results? Probably not. Remember, though, they did not have Patrick Surtain in this game, the Broncos. So, what an effort by the Orange and Navy.